Hey, accountability partners, it's Dr. Chris, and I want to share with you today something called a plank progression. Everybody's heard of planks, and to be quite honest with you, planks get pretty boring, but they're a useful exercise. They're a good overall core exercise. So what I'm going to show you today is a series of progressively more difficult versions of a plank, and we're going to finish with a very special exercise I've been introduced to recently called the treadmill death march. Which is pretty much just like it sounds in the name. Now these, what I'm going to show you, I'm going to do 5 of each. You could do 10, 15, 20, depending on your level of fitness and how much you want to challenge yourself. You could do, there's a series of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 exercises, and then the treadmill death march. So you could do one of the exercises, you could do 2, 3, 4, you could do all 8, you could even do the treadmill if you want. But I'm going to show you the progression that I use, and what you want to do is start out with a small number using all of them or as many of them as you can, and before you go up in number, try to be able to incorporate all 8, because as you go through the 8, it works different areas of your core. Some are a little bit of a twisting motion, some are a bouncing motion, side to side. There's a lot of different things there. So we want to try to keep the numbers small, work to where you can do all 8, and then start to increase the numbers. And I'll have it all listed out somewhere in the description around this video. You don't have to try to remember it while you're watching here. But the very basic part of it starts with just a plank. And for those of you who do planks and you say, well, it hurts my lower back, what you're probably doing is letting your stomach hang too far down and your lower back gets hyperextended, and that gets to be uncomfortable pretty quickly. So first thing we're going to do is just a basic plank. Going to be, and here's another thing too, depending on your level of fitness, if you can't immediately get to your elbows and do a plank, start on your hands or start on a higher surface. So if somebody is really deconditioned and they need to start in the easiest manner possible, lean up against your counter in the kitchen and then move to a chair and then move to your hands on the floor and then move to your elbows. So the higher we are, the easier it is. The lower we go, the tougher it is. It also works pretty good on a set of stairs where you can pick the 4th step and then the 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and then eventually get to the floor. So here's your basic plank. I'm going to start on my elbows. Basically what I want to do is squeeze my entire core throughout all of these exercises. You're squeezing your core as if somebody were going to sneak up and punch you in your core and you didn't know it was coming. You'd tighten up. We want to have that same level of tightness. So first version here, since we're just doing 5, all that is 5 seconds here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The second exercise is a plank bounce, which is just bringing your rear end up just a little bit and then coming down to that starting position. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have a foot stomp, which is simply bringing your foot up, putting it down. We have 5 each side. Then we have a twist. I'm going to bring my feet together, and I'm going to lean my heels to one side and then the other. We got 5 each side. Whole time keeping your core tight. And we have step overs. You're going to step over the other foot and touch the ground. I'm running into a dumbbell. I can't do it. Keeping your core tight. Try to keep your rear end down so your body is in a straight line. Highest point should be your shoulders or the back of your head. So then we go from there, the step overs to the side plank. Stack your feet one on top of the other. And since we're doing 5, I'm just going to count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch positions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to the original. We have a bounce. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then from the side, we're going to go up on the toes and back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that completes our 8 exercises and leaves us only one, which is the dead mill. Maybe we should just call it that, the treadmill death march. When you do this exercise, word of caution, if you have bad wrists, don't even attempt this. One way you can do this without it causing any damage to your wrist is put on some sort of a boxing glove and keep your hands in a fist like this instead of this. If you don't have problems with your wrists, then you can try this. 1 mile an hour on the treadmill. Feet are going to be on the floor behind the treadmill. Or if you want to take the level of difficulty up a little bit, you can put a medicine ball at the end of the treadmill. And all we're going to do is walk on your hands behind that treadmill. Feet up on the medicine ball, hands on either side of the treadmill. We're going to tighten up that core, and we're just going to walk. Keeping your core tight, squeezing your belly all through that. And pretty quickly you'll get why they call that the treadmill death march. I actually learned that exercise from a retired Navy SEAL who did that for 45 straight minutes. Most I've done 1 minute, 30-second break, and 1 minute again. So whatever works for you. So that goes for not only the treadmill, but all of these. Start at a level that works for you. The last thing we want to do is try to do something that's healthy and end up injuring ourselves. So start where it's a comfortable level for you and then progress from there. And that's our accountability project for today.